Do people really, truly have a calling? Keep watching to find out and hear from Reverend Ginger. Hi everyone, it's Beth Sager with the Lexington Local, and today we are here with Reverend Ginger from the Church of Our Redeemer, right on Merriam Street, and it's a beautiful church. I've been downstairs, but I've never been upstairs. It's so pretty and subtle and peaceful.
Thank you. It's a really, it's such a peaceful and beautiful space. There's something about spaces where people have prayed for a really long time that just, you can feel it. And this is one of those.
Okay. Yeah. So tell me about your path to here.
So I am actually a fairly recent transplant. I'm originally from Texas, and I was serving a parish in California, and I married a Boston boy. And and so he was transferred back home, and I came along, and Redeemer was looking for someone, and so it was just this has been such an amazing place to land. It's been a huge gift.
Okay. What made you want to pursue this kind of career?
Oh gosh, it was a very long process for me to sort of, I always thought I'd be a social worker, never considered doing anything else, and was halfway through social work school and realized I had sort of a side job at a church, and I didn't want to leave my church job long enough to finish my social work. And I really just value the opportunity to talk to people about questions of meaning and purpose and the big questions of life. I mean, it's such a gift to get to be with people in these really important moments in their lives. So that was sort of what drew me in, and it's continued to be a really great adventure.
So how long do you have to go to school to do this?
After undergrad, it's about 3 years.
Okay.
And then every denomination has a different sort of process on top of that can be longer or shorter.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, so this is like, I'm like newbie here on this. So.
No, I mean, it's one of those things that like, unless you're doing it, why would you know?
Right. So you go to, like theological school?
Yeah, you go to a seminary or a divinity school.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then after that, do you feel faith at that point, right? Like something that calls to you more than others, sort of philosophy-wise? Like how does that happen?
So usually before you go to seminary, you're part of a spiritual community, and you know, it's sort of in most traditions, it's sort of something that you discern as an individual, and that your community also discerns with you. So you go to, in our tradition, you go to the head of your church and say, hey, this is something I'm thinking about doing, and they get a group of people together, like a committee that talks with you and prays with you and helps you to decide if this is something that you're really called to do.
Okay.
And then after that process, you go to seminary, and that kind of discernment and decision making continues while you're in school.
So then you go to school, then you come out.
Yeah.
And then how do you get a job?
You know, again, it depends on the tradition. Some traditions, you know, your bishop or some official in the denomination says you go here, and then others, like in our tradition, your bishop has some input, but mostly you apply for jobs, and you are trying to make decisions, and they're trying to make decisions about you and trying to find a good fit.
What do you think makes a good fit? What are you looking for?
That's a good question. I mean, there's what I'm looking for, which might be different than what another clergy person is looking for. I can say what I liked about Redeemer is that people really feel like it's not the priest's community, it's their community, and they're invested in it. And they give really generously of their time and energy, and they have a real spirit of service. Like, we're not here just for ourselves, we're here to give to the wider community. I really appreciate that in the church. They're welcoming. That's like they have big hearts. I really appreciate that. There's nothing about them that's closed.
Okay. And you know, so during the week, like what do you do? I mean, obviously you do services on the weekends, but
right. I mean, there's all this sort of preparation for services and things like that. There are weddings and funerals and talking to people that want to be baptized or join our community, kids that want to be confirmed. We have Bible studies and other activities. There are the committees that help to run the church financially and the sort of admin pieces. and there's getting to be a part of community activities. The Lexington Interfaith Clergy Association is one of the strongest that I've ever been a part of. There's just deep participation across a range of religious faiths, and there are things like, and that group does things like organizing against white nationalism and doing information sessions and all kinds of really cool stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's one of the things I love about the work is every day is different.
All right.
Yeah.
And what is your favorite?
And I think it's talking to people about their faith.
Yeah, just one-on-one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I like most.
Yeah. How long does it take you to put together like a sermon? Like, is that hard?
Yeah.
Right?
It depends on it's funny. Some weeks it comes really easily.
Okay.
And then some weeks it's like a really slow, painful process.
I see.
But I always, and I think this is probably true of a lot of clergy, like you sort of read and start thinking about it most of the week, and then I get to lead a Bible study on the text that I'm going to be preaching on, and so I get all these perspectives from the whole community.
Oh, that's nice.
So that's cheating.
Right.
And I'm glad to do it. That really helps.
Right.
And so the text sort of lives with you all week, and then I write at the end of the week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So what else should we know about the inner workings of a church? I mean, I feel just like honored, like being up on the altar, sanctuary, whatever you call it here. So.
Well, I mean, I think the main thing to know is that this is your church. It's the community's church, and you're welcome here. You're welcome here anytime. Let's see. I wish I had think of some like fun, interesting inside facts. Which I wish I knew. Every church attic is really weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you ever
they have attics.
They often do have attics or basements, and yeah, there's a lot of strange stuff in a church attic or basement. It's kind of fun. Like churches keep really good records. So people come in from time to time and say, I know my great grandparents were married here, and I've never known my great grandmother's middle name. Could you look it up? And so that's kind of fun to get to do like
cool, yeah.
excavations and stuff like that, or people need records for citizenship things, and getting to do that stuff. I'm trying to think of other inner workings of the church. There's a piece of it that's like running a nonprofit.
Okay.
Like in a lot of the structures are similar, but they're primarily run by volunteers, and we as clergy are just here to help and facilitate what the people of this place are called to do.
What's your favorite fundraiser here?
We do fundraising a little bit differently.
Okay.
I mean, so members of the community are asked to give of what they bring in terms of like outward facing fundraisers, like pancake supper or pancake breakfast rather is hard to beat. I haven't been through one yet because of COVID. So I'm really, really excited, and I've heard like all the stories, and I see, speaking of the attic, it's full of like pancake batter guns. Like they have it down to a fine art.
Right.
Like it's an impressive system.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it is good. Yeah. So that I know about your church.
Good. I'm really
glad.
I'm
It's a
glad.
really good pancake breakfast.
Awesome.
So.
I'm glad to hear it.
Well, thank you so much for your time. This was fun.